10 subtle signs you're being love-bombed. Know the tactics and protect yourself. Love bombing. It sounds wonderful at first, doesn't it? Being showered with affection, feeling like you found the one, and being told you're the center of someone's world. But there's a darker side to this seemingly fairy tale romance, a side designed to manipulate and control you, leaving you confused and emotionally drained. In this video, we'll unpack what love bombing really is, explore the subtle signs that you might be experiencing it, and give you tools to protect yourself. If you've ever felt like a relationship was moving too fast or sensed that something wasn't quite right, this is for you. Love isn't about manipulation. It's about growth, connection, and mutual respect. Let's dive in so you can recognize the warning signs and protect your emotional well-being. Love bombing is emotional manipulation disguised as affection. It's a tactic often used by people who want to gain control over you in a relationship. The idea is simple. They overwhelm you with love, attention, and affection, so you become emotionally dependent on them. At first, it feels good. You might think, wow, this person really cares about me. But over time, the constant attention and demands can feel suffocating, and the manipulative cycle of love bombing can leave you confused about what's real love and what's control. With that context in mind, here are 10 subtle signs you're being love-bombed and how to recognize the manipulative tactics being used. Right from the start, love bombers pull out all the stops. They shower you with extravagant gifts, late-night texts about how incredible you are, and over-the-top compliments. It can feel almost magical, like you've met someone who truly adores you in every way. But let's think about it. How well can someone know you after just a short period of time? True affection develops over time, whereas love bombing comes off as rushed and excessive. If someone starts calling you their soulmate within days or weeks of knowing you, that's a big red flag. Love bombers often create an illusion of an epic connection by pushing for emotional closeness way too fast. They might talk about moving in together, promising a future full of happiness and commitment, or say things like, "I've never felt this way about anyone before." It's designed to make you believe that they're offering you something extraordinary, but in reality, it's a tactic to fast-track your emotional dependency. Building on the rapid emotional pace, love bombers often make lofty promises. They talk about getting married, traveling the world together, or starting a perfect life in the future, even when your relationship has just begun. These promises are rarely based on actual plans. Instead, they're a hook to pull you deeper into the relationship, making you feel invested in a future fantasy that may never come true. Non-stop texting, calls, or messages can seem sweet, especially if you're in the early stages of infatuation. But if it becomes excessive to the point where they demand updates about your every move, it's a sign of control disguised as affection. This tactic leaves little room for independence. Love bombers want to keep you tethered and emotionally dependent by ensuring they're always on your mind. Healthy relationships grow gradually. Love bombers, however, create a whirlwind of intensity, skipping past the getting-to-know-you phase and diving straight into deep, emotional territory. The intensity can feel all-consuming, like you're swept off your feet. But this lack of stability often leads to an uneven foundation, making it easier for them to manipulate your emotions later. Another hallmark of love bombing is subtle or overt attempts to isolate you from family and friends. In the beginning, it might look like they just want to spend every waking moment with you. But over time, you'll notice them discouraging you from meeting friends or guilt-tripping you about spending time with loved ones. They may say things like, "I just don't feel comfortable with your friends," or "I don't feel like I'm the priority when you're with them." This isolation strengthens their control and weakens your external support network. Love bombers might claim, "I'm doing all of this because I love you," but their love becomes conditional. If you set a boundary or say no, their affection might turn into passive aggressiveness, guilt-tripping, or even anger. Instead of respecting your autonomy, they use love as a way to manipulate you into staying close and compliant. Healthy relationships, on the other hand, respect individuality and boundaries. If you express a need for personal space or independence, love bombers often react negatively. Loving someone means respecting their boundaries, not taking them as personal attacks. Pay close attention to how a person reacts when you say, "I'd like some time to myself," or "I feel uncomfortable with this pace." If the reaction is anger, withdrawal, or emotional manipulation, that's a red flag. Love bombers often create highs and lows in a relationship. One moment, they're lavishing you with attention and praise. The next, they withdraw, making you question whether you did something wrong. This push-pull dynamic keeps you emotionally hooked, constantly chasing that initial feeling and trying to fix the relationship. Finally, love bombers may subtly gaslight you, making you question your own feelings and perceptions. If you bring up concerns, they might say things like, "You're overthinking this," or "You're imagining things." This kind of emotional undermining shifts the blame onto you, preventing you from recognizing their manipulative behavior. Now that we've outlined these signs, it's essential to remind yourself to trust your instincts. If something feels off in your relationship, no matter how perfect it seems on the surface, take a moment to reflect. Your gut is often your first line of defense against emotional manipulation. Recognizing love bombing is the first step. From there, it's essential to take action to protect your emotional well-being. Here's how. Educate yourself about manipulation tactics like love bombing. The more informed you are, the quicker you'll recognize unhealthy behaviors in the future. Take time to understand your self-worth outside of a relationship. Knowing your value will make it harder for manipulative tactics to take hold. Boundaries are a powerful tool. Be clear about your needs, pace, and comfort levels in relationships. Healthy partners will respect these, love bombers won't. Don't feel guilty about saying no or asserting your independence. Your emotional safety comes first. Spend time with friends, family, and trusted loved ones who can give you perspective. Often, those outside a toxic dynamic can spot the signs you may miss. Talk openly with your support system if something feels wrong. Their insight can be invaluable. Ask yourself, is this relationship balanced and mutual? Do I feel respected and supported? Trust your answers to these questions. Counseling or therapy can provide clarity and support if you're feeling confused or trapped in a potentially manipulative relationship. Remember, reaching out is a sign of strength. How do you distinguish between genuine love and manipulation? True love builds trust, connection, and respect over time. It encourages growth and supports individuality. Love bombing, on the other hand, is about control and dependence. When you're in a healthy relationship, you'll feel free, not trapped. If you've recognized love bombing patterns in your relationship, it may be time to reevaluate whether staying is healthy for you. Remember, leaving a manipulative relationship is not your failure. It's your strength. Awareness is your greatest tool. By understanding these tactics, you're taking back control of your emotional well-being and relationships. Share this knowledge with friends and loved ones. Love bombing is more common than you might think, especially among young adults. By spreading awareness, you're contributing to healthier, stronger relationships in your social circles. If this video resonated, pause for a moment to reflect on your relationships. Examine whether any of these patterns might apply, and trust yourself to take action if needed. Share this video. By doing so, you're helping others become more informed and emotionally secure in their relationships. And last but not least, don't hesitate to seek support. There are resources, counselors, and loved ones who can help you take steps towards safety and healing. Remember, real love builds you up. It doesn't manipulate you. Stay informed, trust yourself, and always put your emotional health first.